Hello, it's already September 8th and it's a fall, it's autumn, and it's got tremendously cooler, and I got kind of got melancholy all the time because summertime is like you read books and sometimes do more or less like indoor activities like watching movies rather than going outside because it's too hot summertime here, very hot. So I did that. I read lots of Seicho Matsumoto's books, which is crime mystery fiction from Japan. And when I was growing up, that was very popular reads for common Japanese people, but I wasn't interested in that, and I was very young then. But now I kind of coming back to his book, and crime mystery is more or less like not my favorite genre of the book, even though I enjoyed it tremendously when I read. But after reading it, I have lots of criticism of the story and a very unnatural way of keeping this particular story going, and I don't like that much. But nonetheless, like a popular fiction, it's very enjoyable. Especially Seicho Matsumoto's has this kind of a dark depictions of the Japanese society or government systems or political thing, criticism toward that, which I really liked. So I did kind of wanted to read more about his books, so I'm gonna do that anyway. And also other mystery book from Japan I like to read because I don't know, it's you want to read the books more or less like you are familiar with, or you are environments familiar with, or you grew up with. You kind of I don't know, attracted, to do so. I think here is a tremendously beautiful aster blooming. I think this tansy aster, very nice. I tried many times to transplant this to my yard, but never successful. This one, I like to maybe collect those seeds, and maybe I should germinate there. Maybe that's probably the way to do it. So movies and books are very good companion for me, and incredibly good because I really enjoyed. Like the last couple of weeks, I enjoyed the Kurosawa's film, early Kurosawa's film. Although I may have seen those a long time ago, but still, it's I want to see it, and when I see it again, it's still very enjoyable experience. And so I really loved the Criterion channel, which that's the only channel that I could see on Japanese film, for example, Kurosawa's films and all these old films like that, 1930s, 40s, 50s. That's the only channel. But also when you see some of the great films by them, you feel like you finished. You ended up with, okay, I experienced yeah, that's I have to move on to something else. So I do that. I move on to something else, but it's very very difficult to find the better product than Kurosawa's or Ozu or something like that. And so books is the same way. You read most of the like popular classical literature, for example, and you want to read more classical literature, but classical literature survives, so that's worth reading it, I think. But more, I think that those books I like to read is a thick book, which I have a difficult time to finish. And so, yeah, that's another challenge for me, but that's still a good challenge, I would say. James Joyce Ulysses I started, but I kind of succumbed. There's many pages, so I didn't finish it. Tolstoy's War and Peace I started to read, but I couldn't finish it, so just halfway, or one-third way maybe. And all these things that still a good thing that I have those. So always, if I don't have anything else to do, I come back to it and I read and I really enjoy it. And the crime mystery, Japanese crime mystery by Seicho Matsumoto is one thing that it's kind of saved my summer life, because it's relatively short and kind of a page turner, and therefore you kind of hooked when you're reading. And so, yeah. And Dan Brown, I think, had a new book published this September, I think. And but yeah, it takes some time later. I think I like to read that book. I liked Dan Brown's book so much because he's an art historian originally, and so in his book, most of his book about this art museum, art type of things, and you can go Italy and France or something like Spain. You see those museums and you kind of appreciate those old sculptures or old art painting, and that's pretty much like I like that just because I'm like a pseudo artist myself, painting, and so I like that. And unfortunately here there is no art museum nearby here, so I really like to kind of revisit those things by reading books there. Okay, so yeah, this is interesting weeds here. I think this is like a pigweed, maybe. Yeah, you kind of dismiss this type of thing because it's not colorful, and it's not a flower. It's a flowers, but it's not that beautiful. But it's very interesting watch in its own way, and you never realize this type of things in your life, even though you see them from far away because you're not interested, you didn't get close to it. But it's very interesting to see this grows. So, for me, one of the things that I feel young, I feel kind of reinvigorated is the again the going out like this, looking at this vibrant weeds growing very, very healthy, and those visual stimulation is tremendous. I love that. I think when weather is good, nice temperature like today, although windy, but nice temperature today, and it's very, very nice. I think people should walk outside more, and walking exercise is a good thing, and I like to do that more and more. If you wheelchair bound or something like that, you still can read books, right? You can still enjoy movies at home, and yeah, those things are very good, I would say. Movies, for example, you don't have to do anything, like just watching, and but choosing the movies you want is kind of a very, very critical thing there when you get older, because sometimes when you watch the movie, even though it's very, very famous Academy Award winning movie, popular movie, you may not like it, particular depictions of violence or sex or anything like that. You don't want to see those when you get older, and so yeah, you have to watch, but mostly I kind of tend to, because I lived for such a long time now already. I have the list of movies, the list of genre that I like to explore is more or less like kind of established there. So unless I encounter those things with the new movies, I go for the old film, like a classical film, like a Kurosawa's film, like that, and it's very, very enjoyable. Kurosawa's film, you watch them because he's a great master of creating this movie. Even though it's not successful, it's not like story-wise not that fantastic, but still enjoyable. Still, I appreciate his efforts to make that type of movie. And so, one by one, I kind of saw his film, and even today, I kind of marvel. Even the movies I decided that I don't like, but still I appreciate it. Kurosawa has a great films, right? Most of them are great. I think, maybe 70%, 80% of the Kurosawa's movie is a great masterpiece. All of them. I think one is greater than others. That's what Scorsese said. And so, but some of the film I can see definitely. Wow, that's a mistake. Oh, that's a bad decision Kurosawa made to make this film. Or, I could see that. I could see here and there on this film, even though his intention was not like that. But at the end, when I kind of look back, all of his movies, certainly I don't like some of the film, like Lower Depths. Lower Depths is like a Russian writer, Gorky, yeah. The stories. I think Kurosawa's loved Russian literature, and he make once in a while like Dostoevsky's Idiot or something like that. But this Lower Depths, I was hoping that there is some redeeming quality in that kind of a depressive life of the very poor, lower class type of people living together. And although I enjoyed the actings of actors, but the story-wise, it doesn't go anywhere. I'm not sure it goes to some kind of uplifting message, but not that much. And some of the other film, like a Bad Sleep Well, is a movie, that you cannot avoid the bad people in your society. Bad people get rich, and also, without being caught, they prosper. And those ideas, I think Kurosawa initially made this film to criticize those people, but as a film, it ends up with this bad, egregious type of people survives and continuously make money and so forth. So those things is not necessarily not good as a movies, I would say. Yeah. So yeah, even Kurosawa's film, there is a not so good films there, and so, but mostly those classical movies which survived 100 years by now. Pretty good thing there. 50 years ago's movie, it survived. Today's you can see it in the Criterion channel, for example. I think they are all good films. It's worth watching. And so I'm very much attracted to the movies like that. And today's movie, I wanted to avoid as much as possible because they depict so much violence and sex and some kind of a lifestyle which is kind of a stupid, to me. And so, but I shouldn't be doing that, right? As a person who are getting more stubborn, getting persist on like old lifestyles, old pleasure that when you had when you're younger. The times are changing. The times are changing tremendously. I don't want to watch today's movies, for example. I kind of despise them. But that's a bad thing there. I try to watch at least like 5 movies per year, like Academy Award nominated 5 best film of the year. I try to watch them, but sometimes even those 5 best film of the year could be kind of a so-so or disappointing a little bit, or it's not as great as I used to know when I was younger. So yeah, it's interesting, I think, but I think movies quality, I think kind of a declined over the years. I think the 50s and 60s, they made a great film. But after that, I think for some reason, I don't know what it is, but movie business become so money-oriented efforts, and that is necessarily not the high-quality films. But still, I'm hoping that you get high-quality film here and there, now and then. I hope that is the case. It's a challenge, but I think as long as you could enjoy some of the things you could enjoy, I think it's worthwhile there. Yeah, that's my message. Yeah, so have a good day. I think fall is a nice temperature. It's not as hot as summer, and it's not as cold as winter. and it's very nice outside, so you have to go outside and enjoy the nature or something like that.